Jax, we are recording, so no more bubbling words for me. Initial prayer with you, and then we can start it, please.
Okay, so let's all close our eyes if you feel comfortable. Let's connect with our spiritual mentors. Let's be thankful for the opportunity of being here, for being here to share our thoughts, to as well discuss better ways of getting better, be better. Let's as well be thankful to Pedro Manuel in his works, who prepared all these places where we are safely for us to get together. And let's open our mind and open our hearts to what's going to be discussed today. Inspire, die, for the message this is going to put together, and all the others as well, to capture or to discuss, to contribute. And let's as well be thankful for being alive, for being healthy, but also let's send some energy for those places where people are not so happy, and unfortunately they wasn't their choice. And we ask God to inspire those who make decisions, who are so influenced, to make them make difference for the positive sides on those places, to be an inspiration in a good way. And so we are here to be able to contribute in that way as well. So be it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jax. Oops. Let's make presentation here. There, and share screen, window, and that's it. Sure. Everybody seeing my screen here?
Yes.
Cool. So, Jesus, my computer is playing up. Hello? Everybody's there?
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Okay. Maybe this computer is not working at all. Uh-oh. 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 You still there?
Yeah, we're still here. We're good.
Okay, our computer just froze a little bit. Sorry. Trying to get these things moving. Show my screen anyway. Such a good thing to have an IT guy beside you, right? All right. Up to tab, presentation here. Oh yeah, patience is a virtue, right? Especially for technical stuff. Okay. So in the gifts of Christ, let's go read the text first. Geez, that's low today. I'm not sure if it's our internet or computer. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Maybe it's recording that is.
Yeah, it says, I think it says recording.
No, I'm not sure if it's the recording that, like, my screen's kind of frozen. Nothing's going. Nothing's functioning. It's like I can't access my windows here, like my presentation and things. Can you see like the text?
No, still on the first slide in the gifts of Christ.
Why is not showing? Stop sharing. Let's try sharing again. Window. Okay, Alex was trying to fix the technical issues here why you cannot see me my share screen. I'm just going to start to reading the text from the book. That is chapter 25.
Yeah, your
Got it?
screen, your screen can be seen.
You got it.
Yeah, but unto every one of us is given grace, etc., etc., is
Yeah.
being seen. It's your screen.
Okay, so I think we're good. Alex will drive and I will present. Okay.
Okay.
But into every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gifts of Christ. Paul. So then Emmanuel gonna know as his wisdom and the great guy that he is, he kind of elaborate on that. And he says, the human soul in these 20 centuries of Christianity is a consciousness enlightened by reason, engaged in a full struggle for the conquest of illuminating values. The field of this struggle lies within our inner life, animality versus spirituality, millennia of crystallized shadows against the rising light, and humanity, little by little, between the alternatives of life and death, of rebirth in the physical body and return to spiritual activity, gradually shapes within itself the sublime qualities essential for ascension, which in essence are the virtues of Christ, progressively unfolding in each and one of us. Hence, the divine grace occupies human existence or expands within it, according to the extent that the gifts of Jesus, incipient, limited, moderate, or abundant, are able to express themselves. Whatever you are, whatever you may be, seek to cultivate the Christian's qualities within yourself, with the same vigilant care given to the nurturing of precious plants at home. Next slide. Okay, I'll continue while Alex trying to fix here. Okay, precious plants at home. Regarding the earth, all of us are capable of producing either for good or for evil. We're going to discuss this good or evil later. This is Emmanuel talking, okay? Not me. Let us offer the divine cultivator. Yeah, you're laughing over there. I can see you, Colleen and Yvonne. Let us offer the divine cultivator the vessel of the heart, remembering that if the conscious soul of our spirit accept the seeds of the heavenly gardener, every fragment of our goodwill will be transformed into a miraculous channel of the expression of God, with the continuous multiplication of the Lord blessings around us. Observe your good portion and remember that you can expand it infinitely. Do not attempt to destroy millennia of darkness in a single moment. Make use of the effort of daily self-improvement, persisting learning from the master of love and renunciation. Let us not forget that divine grace will fill our individual space in the proportions of our real growth in the gifts of Christ. Our Emmanuel words. Can you
Hello?
Great, we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but my computer just shut down and restart by itself. So to not delay anymore, I'm gonna just start to present, and then hopefully when Alex speaks, we can come back, okay? Otherwise, I'm not too sure if that's gonna fix it. I'm sorry, Karina, you're getting a day. Very excited for you. Heaps of technical issues. Yay! Who doesn't love that? All right. Alex will put the presentation. Oh, hopefully I say, yeah, I hope I say. Here, Pesca. So the divine seed within us. So he talked a lot about, gardening, seeds, your heart, your gifts, what God gave you, what he didn't. So let's try to break that down and try to understand what the text means for us. So Emmanuel reminds us the divine grace manifests according to the measure of the gift of Christ within each of us. So, but what are those gifts? What gifts are they? What is that? So they're not supernatural privilege, like, that is reserved to a few. It's not something so magical, just a few could touch or receive. No, it's not that. There are spiritual potentials already planted in every human being. Guess what? You were born with seeds of God. Believe it or not, yes, you are. Those are special gifts. Whoops. Wait.
Can I try? Oop, oh gosh. Okay. We're back. Seems like he fixed it. Cool. Great. All right. So, oh, good. Can you hear me normal now? So what gifts are those? So as I said, all of us, we are born with little seeds of God. You believe it or not, yes, you receive that. You don't have to be special, even though you are special because you're a creation of God. So therefore, you receive his gifts, And as I was saying, those are not supernatural things that we receive. The gifts of Christ are the capacity to love beyond personal interest, to forgive beyond offense, to serve without expecting return, and to rise above instinct to conscious choice. Each time we act with patience instead of anger, humility instead of pride, generosity instead of selfishness, we are expanding the presence of Christ within us. We are develop those little seeds. In Spiritism, this is known as moral evolution. This slow but steady refinement of our spirit through experience and effort. So the text uses a beautiful metaphor. The human guard, and here is like we are spiritual beings on a journey. All right, here I'm completely kind of lost now. Yes, just said that. I said that. So the garden of the soul. So the text uses a beautiful metaphor. The human heart is a garden. As I said in the beginning, we are born with little seeds, and those little seeds is, in a metaphor, is in our hearts, and our heart is our gardening. Our soul have a garden, and those little seeds are there. So we are invited to offer our hearts as a soil to the divine cultivator. If we allow the seeds of goodness to enter on this conscious soil, what that means, when we are conscious about the things that we choose to do, as I said before, when we act with patience instead of anger, when we have that time to breathe before taking action, when we act with kindness. So we are making a conscious effort to, cultivate those seeds. within times that become more natural, but sometimes things that happen in our path kind of make us, act in just in an instant. So every time we take a conscious choice to act with kindness, with patience, and things like that, we are cultivating our garden that is in our heart and in our soul. So even every little small effort of goodwill becomes a channel of the divine expression. Like every time you say here, doesn't matter how much, like how big or how small your act is, like if it's made within love, within kindness, that can change someone's life, like the butterfly effect that we always talk here. So it's in that sense that the text brings that to us. So in the principle is clear. Like we cultivate within us, what we cultivate within us, that determine what we will manifest in our lives. When we are so angry, so desperate, that manifests in our day-to-day lives. When we are, a bit more calm, make different choices or act in difference, that reflects in our life as well. So the way that we are inside ourselves usually reflects how we act on the outside. All good until here? All follow? So, patience is in evolution. Patience with IT stuff, I just got a problem here. So, every little thing that happens in our lives shows us an opportunity to choose an action, and that action could be with patience, with gratitude, with love, with anger, with anxiety, and so on. So the text also brings us that the patience in evolution. So that means that one of the most teachings in this message is patience. So that's what Emmanuel was telling us. That reminding us not to expect the destruction of the millennia of darkness in a single moment. What that means, the millennia of darkness, like, as humanity and as we've been studying so far, we believe on the law of progress, that we all of us were born simple in a sense, the simplicity of our soul, simple and ignorant, like just a little baby. We always come back to that simple example. Baby is perfect with room to develop and, become like more evolve and achieve milestones in their lives. The same way with our soul. We just like little cute babies, perfection as it is, because we are creatures of God. But each step of our evolution on our spiritual journey that can take millennia, grow to like some, as humanity calls as a darkness, like if you think on the times when, like, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago, like, the way humanity lives and progress through evolution of moral principles and intellectual. So, it becomes from that sense of darkness to illuminate ourselves, in a sense of we evolve each time and develop, and we are not so animalesque, but a bit more moral in that sense. Does that make sense what I try to explain here? So that's what, when I say darkness on that sense, like, that place where we're so full of ignorance, but we are evolving to more moral, on the progress of our morals and intellectual as well. So Spiritism is strong emphasizes the principles. Evolution is gradual. Spiritual awakening is progressive. So, each life we kind of progress a little bit more with the baggage that we learn on previous life and all the things we're learning here. So therefore, hopefully in the next life, we are way more evolved, like have more wisdom to deal with the things that we learn. Same as in school, someone that is on year one, no limited stuff, like versus someone that just graduate from uni, have a progression of that learning stages. And each year you're going to be learning something new and progressing. Same on our spiritual journey. Each year, like, babe steps, each life, you're going to learning something and pass it on and progressing. So it doesn't mean like that kid on the year one, it's stupid or, it's not a sense. It's just because that little person, like, as same as our spirit, has not been exposed to experience to have the opportunity to learn. So on that stage, that little kid or our spirit was just prepared to learn that kind of experience. So once we're progressing, we have that baggage, that knowledge, so that we'll make ourselves capable to learn more things, more complex things on that sense. The same way as in school is a very like a simple comparison on our spiritual journey. Good. So each day offers us an opportunity for self-improvement, a moment of restraint. At work, how many times you just wanted to shout at someone because that person maybe did a dumb question or something towards yourself that you didn't like. So you have a moment to practice your patience, your restraint, a moment to breathe in and act with calm, with kindness towards that person. So if they offer us an opportunity to have gestures of kindness towards people, a decision to forgive, and so on, and so on, and so on. These small little steps accumulate into our spiritual transformation. But it's not in a sense that, you have to tick, 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 and accumulate points to pass level. Is in a kind of ease, but in a very, very, very simple way. But like every time we choose to act we choose to be kind, we choose to act in love, that will become more and more natural for us. Same way if you need to speak in public. Some people are really shy, but there is a way to practice, to exercise, to do it. At some point that become natural for some people. Love is innate on us, but some people, unfortunately, has not been exposed to love situations. How many times we speak with people that say, oh, I'm not used to be loved. I'm not used to that in my family. So therefore, sometimes for them, it's hard to express that. So in a sense, all those beautiful, I will give you a word, even just finish here. In a sense, all those beautiful kind of acts that we choose to make, sometimes we need to choose conscious to practice them, not because they are easy, but because we choose to, and they will become more natural because it's part of us. We just need to let it kind of flow and flourish inside of ourselves. Go, girls.
And so we go to the top of that slide. Yes, there is a sentiment that comes through Emmanuel's writing, but it also runs throughout many writings, not altogether well informed, but I do sense that we have a propensity to look at our civilization and see that the past was a past that was, as Emmanuel says, littered in darkness. But yes, our expansion is, I apologize for my hiccuping. Yes. Our expansion isn't linear. So when we look at the progression of the human present, humanity, or the presence of mankind, when we look at the early civilizations, the civilizations that were so connected to the earth, so connected to the entities that we call heavenly, the connectivity to what was healthy eating and what was healthy lifestyle practices, these date back millennia.
Yep.
So it is one thing to look back and say we were less evolved, but there is quite a populist vision of where we are at the moment, where we can be seen as being in one of our darkest moments in human history, because we have been so consumed by materialism and we have lost track and connectivity to the essence of life itself and our divine light. Yes, yes. This is interesting if we are to try and define it, but yes, because we become quite dogmatic in our sense of, yes, we want to see ourselves as more evolved. We want to. And yet, yes, there are those from the past that would suggest, yes, that there was greater enlightenment, greater consciousness and awareness. Yes, from civilizations that were based at the agrarian level, that were based at the village level, that were based at a lifestyle that was not political, that was not consumed in materialism, that was based on care and love. When we look at the Hawaiian culture itself, the language itself is so limited.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I try to bring the example of like a child on school. Like, doesn't mean that a child that is in year one know nothing is in dark. No, it's just because at that moment they're limited to that kind of knowledge and progress.
Yes.
So that's why I try to do that comparison.
Yes.
So,
Okay. So thank you.
no worries. So, but like is still on that topic, like the same that works with spiritism, just to bring a bit of science as well. Even in the modern psychology, like while I was doing a bit of research, things that have that similar understanding of the spiritualism, that change happens through repetition. You know, when we practice acts of love, of kindness and things, awareness and habit of formation. So everything that we do in our lives, we have to do. We first have to do like a conscious choice, and then practice and make that a routine, so it becomes natural for us. You know, same way there's so many other lines of thoughts that say if you want to transform or change something new, you have to be consistent on that in 21 days or something days like that, you know, so that becomes a habit and therefore becomes natural for you to do it. So the same way is the acts that we need to do, even though they're inherent to us, like there are seeds that are inside of us, but we need to cultivate them. We need to practice them so they become more natural, you know, like our patience, our kindness, our empathy, all of those beautiful things are inside ourselves, but we need to practice. We need to let it flow through us, so become more natural and everyday in our lives. So therefore comes something in Spiritism as we call the expanding our inner light, you know, that so in a sense that we recognize the capacity that we have, the goodness inside of ourselves, and then we let it expand, you know, to the full potential, you know, the full potential of love, the full potential of kindness, the full potential of empathy, and all the beautiful things, all the beautiful gifts that God already gave us to practice. So that means we recognize that capacity of, I'm repeating myself. And coming back to the example of the little kid that go to the progress of life, and if you take that simple example to our existence, is in a sense when I say no one is born perfect, in a sense that no one is born knowing everything. We have to go through stages of our lives, through stages of our progression in a spiritual realm, to develop those things and becomes more and develop our full potential. Same way as a child, you know, I always try to come back to that simple example because it makes it easy for us to understand that we go through those trajectories to learn and keep learning and take that baggage and progress to the new chapter of our lives. So is using our persistency and good faith to like keep going, just like, you know, as Dory always say, just keep swimming. So is in that sense. And there is one thing that I was thinking about it, like even when we think about the most enlightened, like spirituals, or, you know, people that we consider that is very enlightened people, like even them were born simple and ignorant, you know, even them, they have some struggles through the life that they have to put their stuff together, you know, face the challenge, or as Colleen usually beautifully present to us, like the moments that lives present us to uh, exercise our creativity, the moments of sometimes we consider it tough. So even though spirits that we consider very enlightened and examples to follow, they have moments of they have to really make a conscious decision to practice love, a conscious decision to practice kindness, because even them went through many struggles that kind of help them develop who they are and as we know them. All right. And also that philosophy, that line of thought is not only Spiritism. In Buddhism, it's called the right effort. In Christianity, it's called the growing grace. In Spiritism, it's called law of progress. So we are not, in that sense, like all the philosophies and religions, they kind of come back to the same message. It's a journey. So, and everybody's going through that to learn and progress in a sense. And when we say come back to the word perfect, are born simple, ignorant, and walk towards perfection, is in a sense that no one asks us to be perfect instantly. When I said perfect, in a sense like to develop our full potential, okay? But to be faithful in the progress. So we're not going to achieve the nirvana. We're not going to achieve the full potential of our being in a moment, in one life. Like it's so, and like God don't expect that from us. That's why He gave us these many lives. It's in a sense like be faithful to the journey. It's not about the top, like it's about the climb. Like Miley Cyrus always said that on her songs. And in saying that, in the presence of the divine grace that I just commented, when a closed heart cannot fully feel light. A hardened spirit cannot fully receive inspiration, but as we soften through love and effort, grace naturally flows through us. So what that means, I just told you guys, you were born with your little seeds, okay? But those little seeds needs to be cultivated, through actions, to moments of the life present you situations to exert your creativity, But if we close our hearts, if you don't want to, develop that, you cannot feel the light. The same way, if you have your house with your blinds down, you cannot see the sunshine. So we have to open ourselves to be able to receive inspirations, to be able to have those feelings flourish through us, so we can cultivate them through our life. So grace is not the absent, so grace is always available for you. Like those beautiful gifts is always there with you. They're always available. We just need our ability to perceive and express it. Depends on us. So it's up to you how you're going to exert those gifts. It's up to you how you're going to explore the full potential of your little seeds. Oh, good. So the message, Jesus, I'm completely lost with my paper. Sorry. So the message from Emmanuel is simple but profound. We are all called to express the Christ within us, God within us, because God is in us and we are in God. Not as a distant figure. Like it's not that God and Christ are far, far, far away from us. No. They are within us, but in an inner model of love, humility, and wisdom. So all those beautiful things that we think, oh, God is perfect, Jesus is perfect, He is the full example of humility, love, and wisdom. But we are as well, because we are same creatures that we have the same creator, so we have the full potential inside us. So it's up to us how we're going to express those. And as we do so, step by step, learning through our trajectory, choosing to, act with kindness, with love, to let it cultivate those little seeds inside of us, step by step, day by day, we begin to realize that grace, like those beautiful seeds inside of us, was never far away. It always within us, waiting for the expression. So that is the message that Emmanuel wants us to understand today. Like we receive those beautiful gifts from God, those beautiful seeds on our little garden that is it's our heart. So it's up to us how we will cultivate. So if you have a little garden at home, you have to tend it. You have to remove the weeds, that's gonna cause your little plants, your vegetables, your flowers to not flourish. You have to nursery the soil. You have to put fertilize, you have to water, you have to protect from the extremely heat, you have to protect from extreme coldness or ice, depends on where you live. The same way is our inner garden. We have all those beautiful seeds that we were born with them because we are perfect, we are creatures of God. And then it's up to us how we're going to cultivate that. It's up to us how we're going to cultivate the actions of kindness when someone, and those little steps are choices that we have to make every day. So that's what the text was meant to bring us to reflect, that those choices is up to you. You have all the tools inside of your heart to make that happen. So it's up to you to open your heart, so let the shine in, and then and cultivate those beautiful seeds, so we can flourish a beautiful God in our heart and keep progressing on our spiritual journey. So that's it for today. Anyone would like to make any comments? Anyone has any tips for gardening at this point? Any seeds you want to exchange? How you make your seed of patience grow in your garden way better than mine. What the seed of kindness requires from you that you could share with your little friends here. So it's in that sense, those seed needs that kind of communication. And what we do here every week is like how people have book clubs. We could like a garden club where we exchange things and tips and what do's and don'ts to help people flourish their own garden. And every time we meet here online is that, when we present something and we exchange a little bit of tips on gardening, our souls, but same, in the simplicity of comparison is the same. And people who exchange tips on how flourish their real gardening, with vegetables and flowers, if we do that on our spiritual level, trying to, flourish our own souls and gifts receiving by God, that help us to progress, to evolve faster and stronger, because maybe we could use examples of people that didn't work for me, but it's not that didn't work, it's maybe work for someone else, and so on and so on. So any tips on gardening, people? No?
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure can.
Obviously, all of this messages rest in the principle, the Spiritism principle, that we don't have just one life. We have multiple lives. We come here, we learn, then we go back to spiritual life, then we forget what. Then you come back in another body to learn more, to evolve more, go back, and so on. So there is no such thing as I was born evil or I was born bad.
Yeah.
There is no such thing. And this reinforces the potential that we have to be good, to be a good person, a pleasant person, a person who help others, because the potential, we were born with the potential.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what we have done in previous lives, because previous lives usually is made of the adult life. There's nobody with 2 years old that is bad or good. A 2 years old is a just reincarnated person. So there's no such thing, I was born this way or that way. We were born with the previous, let's say, dormant tendencies that we have, but that we can choose. You can move, we can consciously change or consciously take to the directions we want, to the directions we feel is better, not just for us but for the others. So this is, in fact, is the message of Jesus now on the gospel, you know. So yes, yeah, you just give a good number of analogies that we can follow in terms of garden. Yes, if you look after the garden, if you could know the plants that we have, it means self-knowledge. If you know how to nurture them, so if you know how to separate the good ones, so the ones that have potential to be really beautiful, and look after them, you can develop that potential. We can be a person that will make a difference, not just for our life, but for the life of the others. And this will revert to us as well as more knowledge, are more things that we bring back then dormantly, but as a tendency to good stuff. I think that's my tip.
Yeah. And the other good thing about gardening is like, like I do this all the time with my rural gardening. I nurture it, I get nice herbs and all of that. Then I just leave it there, then the weeds consume. And then like the thing is, you can replant. You can, take the weeds out, put a bit of work, start again from scratch. So same as with our lives, So don't think that sometimes when you have those fails, that is not fail, it's just like things that we have to go through to learn with them. You can always start again. You can always replant. You can take the weeds out, sort it out the things that are wrong in a sense that is not flowing well with you. It's not a kind of the way you want to participate, you want to do it. So you can remove those things from your life, and then say, okay, I'm going to nurture this soil again. I'm going to put more care. I'm going to put some compost. I'm going to water. I'm going to look and then plant seeds again and take care again. So that's beautiful as well with our life and our spiritual journey. Who put Lulu?
Yeah, I like that. And it's the idea of like persistence is key there in actual garden, and then also in like growth and learning. Because once you like you master one level, it's like you have to have ideas that you can take that one thing that you've been looking at in a different direction, but then expand on it. So it's like expanding is good. So persisting will enable that expansion.
Yeah. And then you become a pro.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I haven't achieved the level of grow tomato yet. So, so I want to make a comparison in life. Like, so tomatoes seem very complex to me. So probably have to associate with a very complex sentiment or something that I have to practice in my whole life.
Patience.
Oh yeah. That could be one. Patience. Yeah. Have you tried to cultivate tomato? They're very sensitive plants. Jesus, they're very hard to grow. Anyone else have any more inputs? And Karina, we are not crazy. I told you, we are crazy, but we do those comparisons here. So, Pauline, you have to say something? Okay, go, girl.
Yes. So there is a complexity, isn't there, with the garden analogy, and for everything. Yes, there are seasons, and we need to embrace the seasons, to embrace that there will be times when we feel like we are doing it alone, when the air about us, whether it is personal or professional or whatever it is, the season is for us to maybe lay dormant. It may be that there are storms that we need to batten down for. But as you say, yes, with this greater sense of connection to the natural flows of life, the ebb and flow of the tides, yes, the changing cycles, that there is no beginning and no end. We just need to embrace it and to not abandon because it doesn't work. And this takes us back to the second line on the slide that is here. The message of Emmanuel is simple but profound. We are all called to express the Christ within us. This is not the Jesus within us. Jesus was the man.
Man, yes.
Christ, and I do sense that there is a moment to say that Christ consciousness, which is not Jesus consciousness, but Christ consciousness existed far long before Jesus' time. But the Christ consciousness enables us to connect with everything that is. The Christ consciousness allows us to embrace who we are and the joy and the miracle of life itself. So the Christ within becomes the Christ beyond ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes. And everything becomes tuneful. It becomes melodic. And there are no mistakes. There are no wrong turns. There is just the life experience that allows us to taste it all. And this is the glorious nature of ridding ourselves of guilt, ridding ourselves of gnashing our teeth, regret. We see when things don't go well. We see pain and suffering and we go, now I see it. Now I feel it. And this in turn becomes wisdom because it goes beyond what we have learned in books.
Yeah.
We have experienced it to the core of our being and touched love. Yes, yes. It's all extraordinary. I love it. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Colleen.
And there will be storms, there will be frosts, there
Yes.
will be how can I say attacks in our in our garden.
We're gonna have like bugs, no not bugs. How do you say
Yes. Insects, bugs.
insects,
Yeah.
And
Diseases.
every time we have one of those, we learn because
Yes.
we care about our garden. We never give up. That's the good thing. We never give up. We want our garden to flourish. And if your wisdom is really, really, really high, we even think this garden is eternal. So we need to care about it
yeah.
and get it better, more resistant, and more able to provide food and beauty, not just for us, but to the others.
Yes. Yes.
And learn to help the others well take care of their garden. And we will learn with the garden of others.
Yes.
And that's life. That's the way we interact.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for your participation today. So I just would like to invite you all for our final prayer so we can reflect on the words that we shared tonight. So I just would like to invite you guys for a deep breath in. Just be comfortable. Close your eyes if you wish. Lie down if you wish. Sit down if you wish. Whatever flows your boat. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Let our heart open the windows of our garden and let the light come in to illuminate our soul so we can cultivate the garden inside us. Because we believe, God, dear Father, that we have the seeds inside ourselves. We have the toolings to progress, to cultivate, to let it flow. But we are asking you for your guidance. You are asking you to help us to illuminate our path, to enlighten us on how to use those little seeds, how to cultivate, to practice our love, our kindness, our empathy, our patience, that we can take moments to breathe in and breathe out and think before act on something, God. We ask for your guidance, your protection, so we can keep cultivating our garden and progressing to grow this beautiful thing, not only for ourselves, but for those surrounding us, so we can express the love that are inside of us. Let us have a beautiful and blessed week. Let us spread the little tips of gardening with our friends on our work environment, with our families, with our friends, and the people that we don't even know them, but we cross on the streets, when we catch the bus, when we're driving. Let us be the light in their lives as well. Let us bring them joy. Let us also think about those that sometimes don't have anyone to ask for them. Those in the hospitals, on the prisons, the kids that don't have any family, Father, the homeless people, nations that are going through so many conflicts on war. Let us shine our love towards them. Let us keep growing our love and our capacity to expand that and reach for them so they can keep going. Be strong to grow their own gardening, Father, that they have the wisdom to try to understand that this is just a little challenge. And let them be strong. Let them be love so they can find peace, comfort, 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 serenity, that they can rest. And with this beautiful sentiment inside of ourselves, we are grateful for this night, for the presence of our friends, for let us connected, even online, but our hearts are connected in spirit. We are grateful and we say thank you. Amen. So thank you guys. Thank you for tonight. I hope you have a blessed week. Go take your tips and apply towards your gardens, and I hope to see. I won't be here next week, but you will. I have a
Yes, because it's my presentation.
ooh, good luck. Yeah, I have to travel for work. I will be in Newcastle next week, so I won't be able to be present. So you guys have a lovely night next week, okay?
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Di.
bye
Yeah,
bye.
beautiful.
See
Thank
you.
Bye-bye,
you.
Angela. Bye-bye, Colleen. Bye-bye, Karina. Bye-bye,
Bye
Lulu.
bye.
See ya.
Bye,
Bye,
Jacqueline.
Angela. Bye, Karina.
Bye-bye. Good week,
Good luck,
everybody.
Di.
Thanks.